Hi, marketing girlies. Welcome back to another episode of Marketing Girly by Sky Society. We're doing another solo episode this week, all about resumes, which I think would be really fun, especially as we approach September and the September surge, which, as you know, is a really big month for hiring. So I have a lot of little things I want to go through that are honestly just super simple ways to upgrade your resume. You could do all of these things immediately after listening to this episode. They are all going to be actionable. They're all going to be super easy, and they're all going to have a really big impact on your resume. So that's what we're going to go over today. Do want to apologize. I've got a bit of a cold, so if my voice doesn't sound like it normally does, that is why. But I couldn't not record today's episode. I have too much that I want to share with you girls, and I've been seeing a lot of your questions on TikTok around resumes, so I thought it would be fun to address those things today and just give you something that's some light homework, okay? A little bit of easy stuff that you can do to help with standing out. This is also super timely because right now at Sky Society, we're in the middle of admissions season for our accelerator, which is our marketing girly boot camp. By the time this episode will go live next week, so admissions will be closed, sadly, but you can join the wait list, be part of our next admission cycle when we do one. We only do them a couple times a year, but on these group admission calls that we do, so if you have applied to the accelerator before, then you know that you join the wait list. Sometimes you're on the wait list for a couple days. Sometimes it might be up to a month or two. And once you're off the wait list, you get to schedule your group admissions call, which is a group call with a bunch of other Sky Society marketing girlies. And I usually like to ask how many of you girls are actively on the job search. And so many of you raise your hand. And a lot of you also raise your hand when I ask you if you've ever been ghosted on the job search. And so if you've ever been ghosted on the job search, then, well, I won't lie to you. These changes won't prevent you from being ghosted again, but they should help increase your chances of getting called back for an interview. So let's just go ahead and dive right on into it. So we're going to start with one that we teach all of our accelerator students to do, because in the accelerator, you build a marketing portfolio. So my tip that we require for all of our students is that you link your marketing portfolio on your resume. I don't see enough people doing this, and your portfolio is so powerful, and you want to make sure that you're putting it in front of as many eyeballs as possible and reminding people that you have one, because not all job applications are going to have a spot for you to submit your portfolio. So you can link it right there in the header of your resume. And as long as you download your resume as a PDF, that will be clickable. So they can click on it, they can see your portfolio. You want to make it really clear in the header that that's your marketing portfolio. I love when I see that, and that's a requirement we have all of our accelerator students do. So my one tip for you, include a link to your portfolio in your resume header. Okay, next. Now, this one is super underrated, and that is a clean and organized layout. It is so frustrating when I see a resume and I cannot easily digest the information. And if you can format your resume in a way that somebody can easily skim and comprehend the work that you've done and the impact and quantifiable results that you've had, you are leagues above everybody else, because so many are hard to read. Some of them have different columns, the fonts aren't consistent, the formatting isn't consistent, stuff's all over the place. Having a really nice clean font, clean layout, even spacing, good sizing. You don't want your font to be too small. You don't want it to be too big. We want the Goldilocks font, okay? Just make sure that it feels clean and easy to digest. You can even time your friends, okay? Give them 20 seconds, okay? Are they able to comprehend the majority of what you do on your resume if they just have 20 seconds to skim through it? There's a stat that we love to teach in the accelerator as well. That's the average recruiter or hiring manager only spends 7 seconds reading your resume before making a decision on you. So you need to make sure that it is easy to skim. Again, just a super easy fix if you don't have a clean layout right now. All right, going on to my third way to help your resume stand out. And this is one, if you listen to Marketing Girly for a while, you haven't seen me shut up about this one. And that is that you need to have even more metrics and KPIs on your resume than you think. Every single one of your work experiences needs to have quantifiable results, actual numbers, the actual digits. I need to see metrics This will help you so much, especially in marketing, because so many marketing girlies are creative marketing girlies. And that's incredible. We love creativity, but you're not always maybe thinking about the metrics and the quantifiable impact. So when you can showcase that as metrics, somebody doesn't even need to understand what you're writing about. When they see the numbers, you're already giving them an impression that you understand business fundamentals, that you really care about numbers too, just as much as you care about creativity. And then once they actually go in and they read those bullets and they see, oh, wow, she hasn't only done stuff, like she hasn't just completed tasks, but she's had measurable impact. All right. We want that measurable impact piece. That's really what's going to make you stand out. And I promise you, even just this one change, this will immediately captivate my attention when I'm reading somebody's resume, is if I see lots of numbers. So if you're like, oh my gosh, Natalie, well, I don't know if I have a lot of KPIs to add from my past experience. This is something that you can walk through with somebody. We do this again with all of our accelerator students, so we'll walk through it with you, and really you'll be surprised how many things you can quantify about your past experience. Sometimes you just need somebody to help walk you through that. And also for any new roles that you have, you better be vigilant about quantifying what you've done and keeping track of everything, because in the future, having those numbers is going to help you so much. And I hope you remember this episode. And if you listened to Marketing Girly before, you already heard me say that. So just make sure metrics and KPIs, literally just having those lots of digits throughout your resume, is going to be so impactful in capturing somebody's attention, and then also keeping it when they get to read about the results that you've had. All right. Going on to another one. This one is so easy and so underrated, which is renaming your resume when you download it. Okay. So you're submitting your resume, you're downloading it as a PDF, you're uploading it to wherever you're submitting it. So many times you don't rename it. And so your resume file is called resume 97 because you've applied to 97 jobs and you have 97 versions of it. I want your resume to be titled your first and last name resume. Okay. Or your last comma first name resume. All right. Rename it, make it super easy. I've heard that recruiters say that they love when people do this because it makes it really easy to keep all the resumes organized. So rename your resume. It's a small little attention to detail thing. But again, all of this stuff adds up to help you stand out. All right. So that's a little easy one. Okay. Another one. This is one that we also teach in the accelerator, which is having a skills section, which you may have heard of, but having a softwares focused skills section. Now, I love a skill section, especially if you are somebody who doesn't have a ton of marketing experience, because this is where you can kind of keyword stuff a little bit. You can put a lot of the things that you've done and just kind of reiterate them and add more keywords here, which can be really helpful when you're applying to jobs and your resume is being put through an applicant tracking system that's specifically looking for different keywords. They can find them in your skills section. So maybe you only have like one marketing internship, but you do have skills in SEO and copywriting and influencer marketing and organic social and paid social and brand marketing and email marketing. And you can just list all those out in your skills section. Now, the issue I see a lot of times is people just like list email marketing. They'll just list skills out. And that isn't meaningful to me when I'm reading your resume. And so what we teach in the accelerator is to add softwares in there and to elaborate a bit more on those skills. You really want to create a nice beefy skill section that doesn't just list things. It actually describes how you have that skill. And bonus points is really adding all the softwares that you've used before so that you can show, hey, I have hard skills, not just soft skills, because lots of people can have soft skills. Anybody can list email marketing as a skill. Okay. What does that actually mean? And it's your job to tell that story on your resume. So I love a skill section, especially if you're somebody that doesn't have a ton of marketing experience. In a similar vein, another really great change that you can make to your resume, if you are switching from another industry, maybe you have a career gap, maybe you have something that you want to explain on your resume, is I love an about me section. This is, I think, not always necessary. If you have a lot of marketing experience, that should be the majority of your resume. But if you're somebody who maybe you don't have a ton of marketing experience or you're coming in from another industry, it can be really great to have an about me to explain like, hey, my resume that has a lot of sales background didn't accidentally end up applying to this marketing job. I'm here intentionally, and here's why. And here's why my sales background is going to make me an amazing candidate for my this marketing role that I'm applying for. About me's should be short. Okay. I think 3 to 5 lines on your resume max. Okay. 3 lines is great. 5 lines max. They're really just there to kind of add that additional color. If you don't have a ton of marketing experience and you kind of just want to explain that briefly, or if you're switching from another industry, maybe you have a career break, I would say only add one if you have something that you want to say. My other tip there, if you're writing your about me, be so careful with ChatGPT because it writes about me's the same for everybody else. Okay. When you read your about me, I want you to make sure that if that about me was on another resume, it wouldn't make sense for them. That about me is so specific that it only makes sense for you. Okay. No generic AI gurgitated slush or whatever they say. About me's, okay? They need to be specific to you. One other thing I actually saw recently that I'll throw in here that someone had on their resume that I loved was a key accomplishments section at the top of their resume where they just listed like key achievements throughout their career. And I really liked it because it kind of, again, was a hook for me and captured my attention and then made me intrigued to read the rest of the resume. So there are a couple of little bonus sections like that that can be fun to add in there that I think help your resume stand out a bit more. All right, I got one for you that's going to be a little groundbreaking, okay? And maybe going to have the biggest impact of anything I've shared so far. And that is that you want to make sure that your resume does not have any spelling or grammar errors. This is an immediate no sometimes for me when I see this, that you, and with all of the tools that we have today, with AI, with Grammarly, with every single resource we have, for you to have a spelling error is unacceptable. And this is somebody that makes spelling errors all the time. People used to email me at Sky Society and let me know about spelling errors I had on the website or in emails. I'm terrible at it. But now you have no excuse, okay? We have so many tools to our disposal to help with spelling errors. Spelling errors indicate that you are not detailed oriented, that it indicates that you were rushing. So you want to make sure that you do not have a single spelling error, a single grammar error in your resume, and that's going to help you stand out so much and really just show the attention to detail without having to say that you have the skill of attention to detail. All right. Those are some little things that you girls can add to your resume or change to your resume that will have a meaningful impact. I wanted to keep today's list things that were light and simple that you could implement immediately. I could really keep talking here forever, but I wanted to keep this, stuff that you could do right now and hopefully see an impact in the job market. I also want to say, since we are coming off of an admission season and I've gotten to see thousands of applicants come through for the accelerator, that you are not alone if you are feeling a bit stuck right now in your marketing career, or if you are frustrated that you've applied to a job that you were really excited about and that you thought you were going to get and you didn't. It is not a solo experience. It is something that so many other people are going through as well, and it's supposed to be hard. And another thing, if you've listened to Marketing Girly for a while, you know I love my dating analogies, and finding a job is like dating, and you're going to go on bad dates, and you're going to go on dates where it doesn't work out, and it's not because there's anything wrong with you, it's just because that wasn't your person. And it's the same with these jobs. Nothing is wrong with you, it just wasn't your match. And I am so confident in all of you. If you're listening to this podcast, that means that you care enough to try. And I hope, or I know that you girls are going to find so much success in the job market. And if you need some help, make sure you check out the accelerator. It can be a really amazing stepping stone for you as well. And obviously, we have so many resources in the Sky Society community, our LinkedIn group, this podcast. And yeah, I hope you girls found today's episode helpful, short, sweet, to the point. Let me know what else you want to see. If you are on Spotify, you can leave a comment, or if you want to let me know on LinkedIn or TikTok. I'll be back next week with an amazing, amazing guest, and then for some more solo episodes in the future. Have a great rest of your week, Marketing Girlies.